Ladies and gentlemen, I am One, and this is Borderlands 3. When it comes to choosing a Vault Hunter that suits your playstyle, it can seem like a daunting task. Whether you enjoy doing massive critical damage as Flak, exploding everything in sight as Moze, melting enemies away with Amara, or being Irish as Zane, Borderlands 3 has something for everyone. This video is aimed at the newer players who have just picked up the game and are looking for a little bit more information on each Vault Hunter, the skills and abilities they have, as well as some of their strengths and weaknesses, so that you can make the best choice for yourself in the next or your first playthrough of Borderlands 3. Now, I want to start off by saying that each Vault Hunter is just as powerful as the last. Now, admittedly, some of them have an easier time than others. However, each character is more than capable of completing all of the in-game content without any issues. Throughout each of the Vault Hunters showcases, I'll also be including a clipboard, which will detail just a few of the need-to-know stats on each character. Flak is the first Vault Hunter that I had chose, and he's one of my personal favourites. Flak is a glass cannon and he thrives on bossing and mobbing, but he's very gear dependent and he does struggle with survivability. If you were to choose Flak, you would have access to Fadeaway, where Flak cloaks, turns himself invisible, and then he can then fire 3 shots that are an automatic critical hit. Flak can also utilise Gale Burst. This is where Flak creates a rift at a target location, teleporting Flak's pet through, dealing radiation damage, increasing the pet's size, and also granting his pet bonus radiation damage. As well as Flak having 4 pets to choose from, Flak can also call upon Rack Attack. This is when he sends forwards 2 racks to dive upon the enemies and deal damage. If you have access to the Designer Cut DLC, you'll also be able to use Flak's Gravity Snare. This snare will knock up and temporarily stun any nearby enemies for him and his pet to make an easy meal out of. Now, Flak is a solid Vault Hunter, but his dependency on gear may leave a few players struggling to clear the in-game content. If you enjoy explosions, mech suits, and blowing up everything you see in sight, then Moze may be the best option for you. Moze thrives on explosion damage and is the best all-round Vault Hunter that you can choose. Moze doesn't stray far from her Iron Bear, and if you were to choose Moze, then you would have the ability to chop and change all of the cannon options that are available if you invest enough skill points to unlock each option. Moze can equip railguns that fire electrified high velocity projectiles that deal massive amounts of shock damage. You can also choose the classic miniguns that are capable of rapid sustained fire. Just be mindful as firing for extended period of times can cause these miniguns to overheat. Now, if new tubes are your thing, you're in luck because Moze also has access to semi-automatic grenade launchers. Now again, if you do have access to the Designer Cut DLC, then you'll also be able to summon Moze's sidekick, Iron Cub. Much like Iron Bear, Iron Cub can utilise all of the cannon options available, however, he does deal less damage since he's smaller. Moze is a fantastic Vault Hunter for those who have never played a Borderlands game. She's not very gear dependent, and you can also jump into Iron Bear anytime that you do get in trouble. Amara is the queen of damage over time, and she excels in dealing elemental damage or punching something or someone out of her way. Now, if you enjoy punching first and asking questions later, then Amara may be the best pick for you. Amara is a siren, and because of this, she has a few unique abilities that help her traverse the Borderlands. Face Slam is one of these abilities. With Face Slam, Amara leaps into the air and slams the ground, dealing damage to all nearby enemies, as well as knocking them up. Phase Grasp is another ability that allows Amara to control her enemies. Phase Grasp summons a giant fist that bursts from the ground, locks the targeted enemy in place for a few seconds, making them an easy target for Amara to then take out. Amara can also project her abilities forward to deal damage using Phase Cast. Phase Cast allows Amara to send forward an astral projection of herself, dealing damage to everything in its path. Once again, if you have access to the Designer Cut DLC, you can also utilise Phase Flare. This summons a orb of elemental energy that deals constant elemental damage to nearby enemies. This can also be punched to cause it flying towards an enemy and deal damage to them also. Amara is a powerhouse of a Vault Hunter, however, as with Flak, her gear dependency and focus on melee damage can also struggle her when it comes to enemy bosses. Now, Zane is arguably the best Vault Hunter in Borderlands. From funny one-liners to skills that are usable in any situation, Zane has it all. If you enjoy running at Mach 10 and laughing as you go, then Zane may be the best option for you. Zane is the only Vault Hunter that can equip 2 action skills at the same time, resulting in 6 different combinations that you can choose from. One of these being Zane's drone or sentinel. Zane's drone constantly flies around through the environment, dealing damage with its machine guns. You can also choose from Zane's digiclone. Zane's clone projects a copy of himself which can distract enemies as well as fire at them. Zane can also teleport between himself and the clone, meaning if you get in trouble at one point you can teleport away, which boosts his survivability massively. If protection is what you're after, then Zane can also utilise a barrier that blocks incoming projectiles as well as increasing Zane's gun damage. And finally, if you do have access to the Designer Cut DLC, you'll also be able to access Zane's shoulder cannon. This cannon deals damage to any enemy hit. It also has multiple charges with a very short cooldown. Zane is an amazing Vault Hunter for anyone looking to complete all of the content, regardless of how difficult it is, and make it look easy. If this video has helped in any way, let me know by leaving a like. If there's anything I've missed out, feel free to comment, and thank you very much for watching.
How's that for a takedown, you angry metal end table?